Hello, hello, everyone. We are back. It is Tea Time with Liz. I am your host and founder of Tea Time with Liz. It is so good to be back in action here on Tea Time. I hope you are having a wonderful Monday. I hope you are having a wonderful 2023 thus far. It has been a great year for me already. So go ahead and share if you haven't shared the broadcast yet. This won't be a long tea time like we usually do, but we do got some tea to catch up on. So if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is where you can catch up on all your tea. You can catch seasons 1, 2, and 3 on the YouTube channel. So go ahead and subscribe, follow us, check it out, share it with some friends. There are some good episodes that you don't want to miss out on. Also, if you have not liked or followed us on our IG or Facebook, you definitely want to do that to catch up on the daily tea that we post. Wednesdays, I try to do detox Wednesdays and, do something fun on our Fun Fridays. So, definitely be sure that you are liking and following so you can stay up, on all the tea. All right. Well, welcome to season 4, everyone. Oh my gosh. I'm super, super excited. This season is about telling your story. And I will save some of the tea time announcements for the end because we're just starting. So we are going to talk about this topic here tonight. Hello, Miss Athena. How are you tonight? Definitely, if you have a moment to go ahead and let me know where you're tuning in from, if this is your first time. Shout out to all those who are replaying, and shout out to those who are tuning in to the Tea Time podcast. Yes, if you did not know, we have also a podcast that you could check out on all of the podcast platforms from Archer. Platform, excuse me, Apple, Google, and also on the Amazon platform of music. So definitely check out the Tea Time podcast and subscribe to those channels as well. So, all right, like I said, let's get into season 4. I'm super excited. The way the seasons are going to work, we got our first season here that will go starting now until about July. We'll take a break for about a month and then we'll start back up in September and finish out in December. All right. So, that is how we're going to do tea time going forward. And I'm super excited. There are going to be some amazing guests, a lot of people who are going to come and share their story. I'm so proud. Some it's going to be their first time, some it is normal because of their platform, but nevertheless, it's a story that needs to be heard. And I'm super excited, like I said, about this season because I think telling your story is the best way to inspire someone, to encourage someone, to give them hope in places that they may feel hopeless. And I think it's also a healing testament as well when you're able to tell certain things about your story without maybe crying. Hurtful tears, but tears of joy, tears of relief. You can say it with a smile. You can laugh about it now. That is such a healing moment that you gotta, thank God that you made it, but also give yourself credit as well to know that you're amazing. You did it and you have a story. And I truly believe everyone has a story. And if you didn't know, as I had ended our last session in season 3, I told you I am working on telling my story. I am working on a book called Hey Girl, Hey. Now, it's not just for girls, but it is my way of how I introduce or say hi to, my girls, my friends, my sisters. And it's me telling my story but then also giving some advice in the present. So it has a little twist to it, but I'm super, super excited to share this next book that I have. Coming out, I think it will really inspire others as well. And so that is why I wanted to create this season to help others, like I said, tell their story, whether it's a time for them to heal, finally to tell their story, or if they have just a story that will help somebody else heal, whether it's through trauma, whether it's through life situations. No story is no big or great. You don't have to have, been a druggie or a single mom or any of that. Just whatever your obstacle was to get where you are today, somebody needs to hear. So I am still looking for guests. If you would like to be a guest on Tea Time, go ahead and email me at, oh no, I deleted it. What did I do with my, okay, well, I will put it in the comments later. But hit me up in the DMs. We'll just do it that way. Hit me up in the DMs and I will connect with you and we can get you on Tea Time to tell your story. Otherwise, if you can remember, you can email me at teatimewithliz08@gmail.com. It is teatimewithliz08@gmail.com. All right. So definitely, there is definitely space for the second half of Tea Time. There's maybe one more slot I got left for this first half of the season, which, like I said, I'm thankful for all of you who did reach out, who did say they would be willing to tell their story. And I'm super, super excited to have them as guests. I cannot wait. So, thank you, Athena. You're amazing. Thank you, guys. All right. She put it in the comments there. It is teatimewithliz08@gmail.com. All right. And the other reason why is also that if you haven't read my first book, it is called Healing Effect, Healing with a Purpose. That is what part of my journey as well. There's a few things about my life and my story, but how I found purpose through everything that I've been through thus far. That I have a reason to breathe and live. God has purpose for me, and I wanted to share that journey with you all, but encourage you to also know that your journey and the things that you're healing from have purpose, that you have a voice, you have a job, you have somebody out here to reach, to save, to help, to just bring joy to. And that book will help you get there. So if you have not got to read that book, Healing Effect, Healing with a Purpose, you can check it out on Amazon. I will definitely put that link in. I actually have a post ready later this week, so stay tuned for that. It is not expensive. I'm not here to charge people, over an abundance, because I feel the Word of God is free for all of us, right? So, but it does take a little cost. So, all I ask is $8 is all it is for a paperback. If you like ebooks, it's I think only like $2. So definitely go ahead and you could check all that out on Amazon. All right. So that is part of my story thus far, like I said, and I will get into more of my story closer to the launch of my book. I don't want to give everything away yet, but what also is amazing about this month is that it is Valentine's Day. It is also Black History Month. So shout out to all of you. Happy Black History Month. This is a time where we can embrace our culture, all the accomplishments and all the things that people have done to make Black culture what it is. I know there's not enough days in the year to just cram it all in this small month. But as they say, Black History Month is every day, and that is very true. But to just take the moment, though, to celebrate those around us, those who have accomplished, we are grateful for them. But like I said, it is also Love Month, right? And so to kick off Love Month here on Tea Time, I am excited to actually bring guest Coach Ty. I'm going to share his website. He's going to be our guest next week. He has written a book called Red Flags. And if any of you are out here dating or are looking to date and want some, dating advice and just to hear his story, you could check him out at his website. And his book is called Red Flags. It is on Amazon. So definitely check it out. It's a short read. I'm super excited to talk about it with him when he comes next time, not next week, sorry. It will be in a couple weeks. We meet every first and third Monday of the month, but he is going to come and talk about his journey as a narcissist and how he overcame being that and even dealing with the people who are narcissistic. And so that is going to be a great, great tea time. And like I said, the reason why I wanted to share or bring Coach Ty because I know a lot of my viewers are women, women who are single, women who are divorced, women who are married. And there are just some things sometimes that we don't take the time to uh, analyze as we are going through this journey, whether it is dating, whether it is marriage, or like I said, refinding yourself. And so I'm going to spend the last few minutes here just talking about that tonight. I just want to encourage, give my tea and my perspective on dating. It has been a topic for me that has been hard to talk about because I value relationships. They haven't always been successful for me. I'm going to be very transparent tonight. And I think that is why I steered away from talking about it. But I think where I am today and how I feel about relationships still stands, but in a better eyesight. And so I want to share that part of my journey, my story tonight. On the love tip. If there's any young ladies out there, preteen, teenagers, early 20s, I can say this about, as you're getting ready to date, don't rush it. You have so much life to live. Be very careful too. Don't go for people who are showing you attention that are extra older than you. That can be very dangerous, especially in this climate today with sex trafficking and so forth. I was just talking with my sister and we were just talking about some of the things that were going on in the world today, and so I just really wanted to put that out here tonight as well, because I really do care about all you young ones out there, and knowing that you have so much life, like I said, to live. Figure out what you want to do, take your trips with your girlfriends, explore, figure out what you like, what you don't like, because your mindset changes from teenage to middle to early 20s, and even in your mid 20s and so forth. I mean, I'm sure I got some people who would testify to that. And so you don't know who you'll become, and where you'll go, but take your time and just allow life and allow God to get you there. It may look as though everybody else is doing it, and we definitely live on a social media platform type of a world, but everything isn't what it looks like. We definitely display relationships in great ways, and I'm not knocking that by no means. But sometimes it's okay to keep some things private. It's okay to keep some things hidden from people, especially if you care and you love about them, and even yourself, because people have opinions, people have motives, people are manipulative. And you don't want to leave any room to the adversary or to the devil to come in to those types of relationships and break or be tempted in that in that form. So that's just my advice, my tea. Once again, I'm going to continue on talking about my journey. Okay. Um, Now, I did get married, and I say that because I did get married at a very early age in my life. I got married at the age of 20. I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought I was ready. And I definitely can sit here saying today, now being 37, I was not even close. um, I thought I knew what love was. I loved the fact of what love looked like. But I don't think people understand that love takes work. And love is very transparent. You have to be very vulnerable in love. You have to know who you are. You have to know your broken and weak places, and be willing to share that with somebody. Um, where we are today in this dating world, um, as they say, there is pee in the dating pool. I totally feel like that is somewhat true, but I still have hope. I still feel like the pool's gonna get cleaned out and there's gonna be somebody. Um, but because of the labels that we have out here, because no one is really, I shouldn't say no one. Let me put it this way, there's so many different stages. There's talking, there's it's complicated, there's friends with benefits, there's just so many different um avenues when it comes to getting to know somebody. Um, but I truly recommend just being friends. I think that helps with communication. Um, you learn how that person communicates, you learn how to communicate, you learn how to be transparent, you learn how to be um, open and, just uh, be yourself. You don't have any motives. You're not trying to alter who you are to gain this person's attention. So, like I said, really recommend being friends. Um, and I did do that. But like I said, I was very young. I didn't know what the heck I needed. Um, and there were some places, even in my childhood, that I didn't deal with, that I was trying to cover love up with. And I think sometimes that's what happens, even as we're dating. I think we're constantly trying to fill certain voids in our lives. And so, we meet that person and things are great because, once again, they're meeting that void. But then some red flags start showing up and some things you either are compromising or you're settling for, or you just something just doesn't feel right. And then you're sitting there, and I'm going to be very honest. A lot of the times, I just stuck it out because why in my mind, I thought there was nobody else out here, no one else that could potentially be, and so I felt like I had to stick it out or I had to commit and, stay with, whomever, but that's not true. There is probably gonna be somebody even better, somebody greater, um, and I'm I'm definitely confident enough to say I'm willing to wait for that. And I think that is another part. You have to be very confident. You have to have some type of self-esteem, because I think that's where we attract the wrong ones, is when we are broken or when we have low self-esteem. A lot of people will manipulate. A lot of people will prey on that and use that and not make you any better. Now, for some, the journey is that they did meet somebody and that person did help them, but sometimes that journey isn't like that for everybody. And let me say this, like I said, this is my tea, this is my journey, this is, my advice of what I've learned. Now, you gotta do what the old school way. Eat the meat and spit out the bones, right? Use what works for you, in relationships, because not everything works for everybody. There's always these relationship advice and this, that, and the other, but not everything works, for every relationship, and so you have to know who you are. That's why I say you definitely have to know who you are. You definitely have to have a confidence about yourself to be able to communicate and see when you do click with somebody, when you do decide to commit to someone, that you both can work together and grow together. And it's more or less growing rather than fixing, a lot of times. But sometimes God does send that person to help in certain areas to grow you, or to heal you as well. So I don't want to say that's everybody's story or everybody's journey. I want to definitely give room to that, right? So, um, I have been single for Jesus, a long time. I got divorced at the age of 25, and I have been single ever since. I have definitely been honest with myself. I have taken breaks from dating. And I'm just at a place like, if it happens, it happens. I'm open. But if it doesn't, she's still on her grind and she's still doing whatever she needs to do as God opens doors, right? But I had to be open and honest within myself when things started not turning out, when rejection was something I had a hard time dealing with. And mind you, I had never dated in my early adolescence. That's why I say young ladies, do not rush into anything, explore life, get to know life, eh, create relationships, friendships. Um, and that's something I somewhat regret. I took the first person that showed me attention, and spoke to insecurities that, I just was like, okay, there's nobody else out here. So once again, I'm gonna commit and hang on. And then when it didn't work out, and it was getting bad, I God showed me, He said, "You had made him your God. You're looking for him to be your everything, and he is just a man. He cannot." And so, I realized I married for not love, but for lust. I married for insecurity cover-ups, and I saw a lot in me that needed to be fixed. And so when we decided to separate and divorce, I had talked to other people, because sometimes when you're used to being married, you just want to get back out there and find someone. Sometimes to let the other one know, hey, it's your loss. A lot of times is you miss companionship, and you're used to that, but you haven't healed from what you just came out of. And I think that even happens even as you're dating. You got to take some time to heal, okay, and reassess and say, hey, okay, what went wrong here? What can I work on? What can I do? What should I look out for? And I think that is something that it takes a lot of maturity, but I think when you do it, you'll feel much better. You'll feel much confident, because once again, that goes back to last season talking about self-worth. You have to, love yourself enough to know you're worthy of the very best. But we as women have to also be honest with ourselves and know, that sometimes we ain't nice. Okay, our attitudes can be horrible. Um and and this was one thing that I messed up in marriage, for some reason. I don't know why I thought this, but for some reason, I didn't think men had feelings. I just assumed that they were just always supposed to give a yes and give us what we wanted as women, and, just all the above. But men have feelings too. Men matter as well as we do. I think it. just because we're two different genders does not exclude the humanity of who we are, right? And so we have to take that into consideration. How are we dealing with somebody else's heart? How are we handling someone else's feelings? And being considerate. And I know sometimes because we are the nurturers, we are the caregivers, we are, more empathetic type of creatures, that we tend to give a lot more attention in that area. And yes, sometimes it does get misused, mistreated. But sometimes, because we've been broken so many times, we've been hurt so many times, we get into this defense mode, we get into this boss mode, we get into this independent mode, and we act as though we don't want companionship. And that is not attractive. And I'm not saying that because I heard it from a guy. I'm being honest. I mean, I'm just saying what I got out of my revelations as I, took my breaks. Um, that you still want to be attractive. You still want to act as though you need someone, and willing to work on a relationship together, right? And so, these were just a lot of things that I had to go through during my separation. And like I said, I had asked some friends about, getting back out there and so forth, and they're like, just take time to get to know who you are again, take time to heal, take time, because some of them went straight back into a relationship and wish they would have took the time. One actually kind of just wild out. um, and that is definitely something you don't want to do either. You don't want to lose yourself over one person, just mistreating and having some misunderstandings. It does hurt. It does, just take time. But I'm telling you, as a witness, it does get better, and life is great, whether you have someone or not. Life can still be amazing. And so, like I said, I still stay hopeful. Um, and as I have learned to date, as I have learned to get to know people, like I said, I had to learn how to have confidence. I had to learn how to have um, trust within myself, to know that I was good enough, still. Because, sometimes when you've been thrown away or you've been rejected, you constantly will just cleave to, like I said, to whatever shows you that attention or what you're looking for to fill a void. And when I realized that, that's when I became even more whole, is that, I don't have to settle, and I have enough confidence to tell somebody, to say, as we're maybe getting to know somebody, like, "Hey, you know what? You're great. You're amazing, but just not for me. Hope we can be friends. If not, I understand." um, but I don't see this going anywhere. And I don't say that to be rude. I just say that because I'm honest with who I am. And I don't want to waste anybody's time. And like I said, I'm excited to have Coach Ty, because I'm sure he'll help us out with, the red flags and, all the different things that we can experience as we're dating. Um, I'm not going to say much about marriage advice, but to just say, I constantly pray for those who are married, that, things outside the world do not defect them or break them or come between them, because there's so much in this world that can. Um, and marriage is a beautiful thing. I truly believe that God wants us to be married. I truly believe God wants family. And but it takes work. Once again, we as women have to be more wise. We have to be more cautious about our position, not in the sense of, cooking and cleaning and roles and stuff like that. That's between you and that person. But it really comes down to the spiritual side of praying, keeping the atmosphere a clean atmosphere, being watchful, what comes in and what comes out your home. Um, those types of things. Those are things that I learned. Those are things that I failed in, and will definitely be better when I get another opportunity to go back to it. So that's what I have to say for married people. But for those who may be going through divorce, just really take your time. Take it one day at a time. And divorce can even be similar to even a breakup if you're going through a breakup. Take your time. It's almost like going through a grieving process. You're trying to uh, uh, gain life back in a way that it used to be, but without that person. And sometimes what makes it hard is that that person's still somewhat alive, or you may run into them or still be around them. So when it's out of sight, out of mind, it's a little bit more easier to heal. But when you have to still face them, it can be a little bit more challenging. But like I said, as a witness, as someone who had to deal with it all, um, it's possible, and I don't regret anything that I've been through. Now, I don't wish divorce on anyone. I don't wish all this rejection and bad experiences in dating. I don't wish that on anybody, but it is life, and people are who they are. I think we all have a story. I'm sure that we could share for those who are dating, or used to date, or just starting dating. But this was one thing that someone said to me before I close out tonight, is that even though we may have a story, you may be somebody else's story too. And so, that humbled me real quick. Is that, somebody may be talking about you as much as you are talking about them. So, just be mindful of that. And I think that's where, like I said, I have matured enough to be respectful, and closing doors where closing doors needed to be closed, and being willing to open doors where doors can be opened. So I hope all that tea tonight encouraged you in some shape or form, and just sharing my journey, like I said, about dating. I believe there is hope. I believe that we will find someone. If you're out there looking for someone or need to be found by somebody, you will find that special someone. And for those who are married, stick with it, stay with it. You don't want to be out here, I promise. God definitely has blessed you and anointed you to be with that person. So, continue to ask God to guide you, lead you to keeping your family together. And to those who may be going through divorce, like I said, just take it one day at a time. Life does get better, and there is more ahead, greater is on its way. So just take your time and heal. But that is, like I said, all the tea I have tonight. I told you it wasn't going to be extremely long like our normal 45 to an hour sessions, but I did want to just be open and honest about my dating journey, and in this month of love. But yet, like I said, I'm excited for our next time's guest on the third Monday of this month. Coach Ty, you should go out, and he is on TikTok. He is on Facebook. So definitely, if you want to go ahead and find him, look him up, see what he's about. He is definitely a life coach as well. So you definitely want to connect with him if you are looking for someone. All right. So that is all the tea I have. Thank you all for tuning in. Let your friends know that tea time is back. And we will see you all on the third Monday. So I believe that is the 20th. I think it's even President's Day. So we are still going to go forth with tea time even on the holiday. So like I said, be sure to let your friends know, and until next time, you all have a blessed week, and we will see you on the next Tea Time with Liz. Have a good one.